Hey, welcome to the Jamaica Basketball Project. My name is Rick Turner. I'm the head coach of the Jamaica national basketball team, and we have put these programs together to keep people aware of what we're doing as we're all kind of in this lockdown phase of waiting for things to loosen up. We can maybe see the light at the end of the tunnel, but taking an opportunity to introduce you, if you don't already know, to Jamaica basketball past, present, and future, and let you know that when all this is over with and we get back to work and everyone gets back to work, that we want you to be a part of what we're doing and helping us reach our goal of the Paris Olympics in 2024. As I mentioned, it's about Jamaica basketball past, present, and future, and giving people an opportunity to meet some of the people involved with Jamaica basketball. And it's always a special time when I'm able to speak with players that have come through the program and come through growing up in Jamaica and going to bigger programs overseas and making a great name for themselves. And certainly my guest tonight has done that. Many of you know Vashil Fernandez, who is from Kingston, ended up playing overseas at Valparaiso University in Indiana, had an outstanding career there. I'm going to bring him in now. Vashil, how you doing, man?
Hey, Coach Turner. Thanks for having me on. I'm doing good.
Yeah, it's great to see you. How you doing? You're in. You told me you're on the border of Texas and Arkansas, and just kind of hanging out with your family. Are you doing? You're working. Are you able to get out and work? Are you doing video conferences all the time, or what are you doing?
Some of both. I work in economic development as a community development specialist. So some of my job requires that I get out and deal with a lot of different situations.
Yeah, cool. And you've got a young family there. It sounds like you're outmatched with 3 girls in the house.
Yep.
How are you getting by?
I like to think of it as I'm a minority in a sorority. I'm making it. I'm making it.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, thanks for doing this, man. And I'm, as I was reading up on you, and I've followed you over the past few years, and have been aware of you for sure. And then when I was going to have you on, I did some research, and I didn't realize, and that's on me, what a just outstanding career you had at Valparaiso, and just what a great basketball program and basketball family to be a part of. Talk about that experience a little bit.
It was a great 5 years. I was under the Drew dynasty, as they like to call it. Coach Homer Drew, had just stepped down, and so I had this younger son, Bryce Drew, as my head coach for the 5 years that I was there, and it was just a good opportunity for me, going in and learning a lot from a really great coach who was played at the highest level, and just winning championships, just having really good teammates, and just not only growing as an athlete, but also growing as an individual and growing academically.
Yeah, that's cool. So there's been a theme among these little live streams that we've been doing, especially with players that have come on and talked about their younger days. It seems to be a lot of late bloomers. And I think it's the same for you, right? You didn't really start playing basketball till you were like 17 years old. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I didn't start until I was 17. didn't really know much about the game. I heard a lot about it, but I never played in my life. Met this guy while I was going back and forth from Kingston to close to Ocho Rios, and he asked me if I knew how to play. I told him I could learn. He introduced me to my high school coach, Coach Ludlow Barker, and that's where it all started.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you this, not knowing, just it's on your Wikipedia page. So I'm going to ask you. You grew up in a house with 19 people?
Yes, I grew up. I grew up in the countryside, and most of those were just. I have 5 siblings, 3 brothers and 2 sisters. Everybody else was cousins. At the point, I think Grandma's house was the most stable for having all the kids. She was there, and so my aunts and uncles and my mom were working in the city, not living in stable housing, and so they would just have everybody stay at Grandma's house and then send whatever they can to help support everybody.
So during that time, did you ever even think that playing professional basketball or going to a great university was even going to be in the cards for you?
No, I never had the wildest idea. I mean, growing up, I did a little bit of track. I did some soccer, played cricket. Nothing that I took real serious that I was going to be a professional athlete.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I got older and people were starting to ask me if I played basketball. I was like, no, like I've never played a day in my life. And as I got into it, I started seeing that the possibilities are endless and I can do something with this.
Well, Coach Ludlow has been an institution down there for a long time, and he's coached a lot of good players, and he's put a lot back into Jamaica basketball. It must have been a good experience to play for him before you got the chance overseas. Talk about Coach Ludlow.
Yeah, it is great. As Coach Ludlow, and I got to Calabar High School. It was Coach Ludlow, and it was also Bobby Polak, who was working with me in that beginning area to get down to Calabar, and just really working with Coach Ludlow, and also being able to practice with his club team, the NBL team that we had, was Braves, which was about 2 or 3 blocks from where I live, so it was easy for me to get there from school and to go practice with the Brave guys, and just really took that year to really just learn the game of basketball, because I was coming out not really knowing to do anything, and so it was just an opportunity to learn as much as I can, develop as much as I can, and prepare myself for whatever the future holds.
What did that mean for you in terms of what was it one-on-one hours with a coach? Was it just in a team atmosphere? What was it that was able to kind of to get you over the hump, I guess, from a guy who had never played before, tall, right? I mean, you're 6'10" now, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Were you that tall back then, or have you?
That's about 6'8".
Yeah,
I grew a couple inches.
Yeah, but you were a tall, skinny kid, and probably not nearly as coordinated, like all of us when we're 16, 17 years old. So was that just a lot of hours on the court, or was it just a matter of growing into your body? How did that go?
It's a lot of hours in the court. I played with a high school team. I left from there and went with Coach Ludlow and was working out with their NBL team and with the guys. They're a really good group of guys, and the ladies as well. And then I also was part of an elite academy that Johnny Williams was trying to put together. He took me under his wing. He's one of my mentor. And so I was doing that as well, along with high school training and club training, just soaking up as much as I could, trying to learn the game, trying to get as much as I could out of it and prepare myself for whatever the future had in store for me.
And I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, Coach Johnny was the one that got you to Valpo, or got you to the States?
Yeah, he would help me get to the States, working out. just communicating with some of the coaches over here, and I ended up going to a little school in a prep school in Maryland called Princeton Day Academy, and had a good season there. Just my first year of in the States, just learning the game, learning the speed of the game, how different it is, and kind of just growing into my body and understanding. I understand a lot more about the game. I mean, there's a little bit of difference playing in Jamaica versus playing in the States, and playing more games and just getting more exposure as well.
I asked this question of a lot of guys, and I guess the reason I ask it is because I think it's sort of fascinating, and I kind of remember it for myself. But was there a point in time where you realized, I'm pretty good at this? I'm a good basketball player? Because I would imagine early on you probably had self-doubt, or things didn't go great for you. There must have been a time, and maybe it's not one particular time, but if it is, I'm curious, where you realized, I'm good at this.
Yeah, that probably didn't happen for me until I'd say my third year in college. I was a sophomore, and this was when I turned a corner just overall in my game, and just being aggressive and playing hard. And that was the moment of like you can really do this. Like, the possibilities are really endless if you continue to stay dedicated and play and continue to get better. I think that was the turning point for me, because before that I was just frustrated at like a lot of things that I should have learned when I was like 5 or 6. I'm just trying to learn, and my teammates feel like they're way ahead of me.
Yeah. Man, a lot of your peers were starting at such an early age, and you just had a lot of catch up to do. So you went to high school, you left Calabar, you went to high school, prep school up in Maryland. How did you end up at Valpo?
Michael Rogers went to Valpo, and so kind of had a connection there. And Coach Bryce was talking to Johnny, and Coach was also talking to Mike Rogers, and just trying to learn a little bit more about me. And I ended up having like a 3-hour conversation. Coach Bryce came to see me when I was out of prep school and was down in Atlanta working out, just training to see where I was going to end up for college. He came down there, and we had a good 3-hour conversation in the spring, right around Easter. I went over there, went to visit. I had 2 visits that weekend, actually. I went up to the University of Washington up in Seattle, and then left from there, went down to Valpo, and just really liked the atmosphere down there, really liked the school, really liked the academic setup, the class size, and just loved just the family-friendly atmosphere that they had. That's what really drew me to Valpo.
Yeah, that's cool. So you go to Valpo. I would say you guys had some success. You won the Horizon League for the 5 years you were there. You had a winning percentage overall of over 700 in the league. It was close to 75%. You went to 2 NITs. You went to 2 NCAA tournaments. You were runners up in the NIT your senior year, and that might have been your best team.
Yeah, on record, yeah. Overall, like just playing, it was definitely the best team for Valpo.
Did you guys kind of feel like you were gypped out of getting to the NCAA tournament?
Yeah.
It sounds like some of the announcers and that were calling you guys the best mid-major team in America, and then you get upset in your conference tournament, and then you don't get a bid. You probably felt a little slighted.
Yeah, and I mean, we kind of understood too, because earlier in the year we let a couple games slip from us. We lost a game to Ball State that we shouldn't have lost, and I think like down when it was when we were getting to do all these bids, that was when that started affecting us, I think.
But playing in the NIT was pretty cool, because you guys ended up in Madison Square Garden.
That was really great. We decided, we were just excited after we saw that we didn't get a automatic bid into the NCAA. we were still excited because we know that one, we were going to be one of the top seeds in the NIT, which gave us home court advantage. And we, like I said, it was a really great family atmosphere in Valpo, and we had some really good teams that come in, and because of the atmosphere that we have, we were just feeding off the energy and just played really well, had a really good stretch of games, and then got the opportunity to go play in the Garden.
Yeah, cool. So it must be a really easy school because you ended up with 3 degrees.
Yeah, I keep telling people this, like I really don't struggle with school. Going to high school kind of prepared me for it. I felt like high school back in Jamaica was tough, a little bit tougher for me.
Yeah.
And also, like when I went to college, I had a goal. If I got 4 years in college, I wanted to at least start my master or have it completed in leaving. And when I found out I got my year eligibility back and I had already finished my first master, they didn't have any PhD program that I wanted to do, so I just decided to get a second master.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. And basketball helped you get there.
Yeah. I mean, without basketball, that wouldn't. I don't think I'd ever see myself in the United States at all.
There's so many kids that dream to be given the opportunity that you were able to take advantage of, I guess. But it's not easy, is it? To go,
No,
you leave home. All of a sudden, you're in a foreign place by yourself, with the pressures of not only basketball but the pressures of academics, like you just talked about. And I guess it's pretty cool that you had a good academic background. Otherwise you wouldn't have been able to survive. It's not easy right away, is it? It's not all roses, is it?
No, it's not. I mean, one thing is, especially coming from Jamaica, where if you're coming and get into a system like that, the development isn't where it needs to be as yet. And so there's a kind of like a catching up game that you're playing too. And so having a good academic side leaves you room to really work on your game and get better.
Yeah. So I got a question here from Willie London. What degrees did you end up getting? You got 2 masters in undergrad, right?
Yes. I have a bachelor's in international business with a minor in Chinese. I have my first master in international commerce and policy, and then my second master's in international economics and finance.
Wow. You're a brainiac.
I just work hard. That's all it is. Just hard work.
What do you hope to do with these degrees?
So mostly what I want to get into right now, economic development. Growing up in Jamaica has always been on my heart to see your country be self-sustainable, building up good infrastructure, getting good investments and stuff like that. And so this being my first job out of playing basketball, getting into community development is the road to start my career towards economic development and sustainability.
Yeah. So your senior year at Valpo, you were the nation's defensive player of the year. You won the Lefty Drizel award for the best defensive player. You led the nation in block shots. Were you thinking like the draft was something that might happen for you, or were you just gonna play it by ear, thinking you'd be a free agent and go from there? How did that go? What was that like when you were done at Valpo, looking at a pro career? What was going through your mind?
The opportunity, yes, was hopefully see if I could squeeze my way in the draft. And at the end of the year, I mean, things didn't go as planned. Coach Bryce ended up leaving, going to Vanderbilt, and things just got a little bit different at the end. Was really hoping to have that background to help me catapult to get into just some training camps and a lot of different things. And I mean, things didn't work out the way I thought it would, but I still had a good opportunity.
Yeah. But so you did play professionally. You played. You were in at least the preseason roster with Miami.
Yeah.
How was that? What was that training camp like?
It was pretty good. I got in training camp late, but it was just a good opportunity to go there and show them what I could do. Just get the exposure, being around the NBA guys, talking to um, talking to coach, just being around just the whole coaching staff and the GMs and everybody, being around Pat Riley, guys who been around the game forever and knows how to win, and just learning from them, soaking up as much as I could.
Yeah. You think is some level of coaching in your future? Do you think?
Maybe a little bit
Yeah.
more so of just being in the background,
Yeah.
sharing my experience with guys and seeing how much I can help them to improve their game. Just
Yeah.
teach them from the stuff that I learned or stuff that I do to help me get where I got to.
Yeah. Here's another question. Should do you want to get into politics?
Funny thing, I had a radio interview for part of my job because I've been working on the census, and somebody had mentioned to me and asked me the same question. It was like, so you know that Barack Obama started out as a community development specialist and then ended up as a president. So they asked me if politics was in my future. I was like, I don't know what God has for me for right now. I like economic development. I don't know if that's going to change in another couple of years. So we'll see.
Yeah. The problem with politics is that half the people hate you. You only appeal to half the people.
Yeah, I mean, and I understand that you can't please everybody.
So tell me about your experience in the G League. Was that, I would imagine at that time you were all in on hoops. Like you had a vision of playing in the NBA, felt like the G League was a way for you to get there. What was that experience like? Because I know it's different for everybody because it's such a wide ranging kind of vibe, right? There's guys that are in it. Well, everyone there is in it for themselves. Yet you're playing a team sport.
Yeah.
Well, it can be difficult to navigate. What was your
experience? It was difficult because one, I was playing on a team that had just won the championship the season before, and so they brought in most of their guys back. And so in training camp, I mean, I got to be there. Got to play about 10 minutes a game starting off, but then we get into the NBA starts, and then guys start coming down from the NBA, and we didn't have two-way players back then, so those guys coming down were going to get the minutes, and so I went from playing 10 minutes a game to being out for the next game, just sitting on the bench or not even getting a dress, and so, excuse me, it was just tough to deal with that. Wanting to get better, but not always having the opportunity to get out on the court to actually get better or to show them about how much I've improved.
Yeah. So you got to experience playing on the national team for Jamaica. What did that mean to you to wear the uniform for your country and play? And you played on some successful teams.
Yes.
And had some success with those teams and played with some good players. What did that mean to you?
It meant a whole lot to me. I mean, I've always wanted to represent my country in some way, shape, or form, and that was a great opportunity to be with a great group of guys. A lot of them are all over the world playing right now and learning so much from them, and just being able to show that Jamaica has so much to offer. We're not just in track and field, like we're diverse when it comes on to sports. We're developing when it comes on to basketball, and we'll continue to develop and produce great talent.
So this guy wants to say hi.
What's up, Coach?
So you've been in it as a player. You've seen it from the outside, like seen it from the inside, seen it from the outside. What are some things that you think need to happen to move Jamaica basketball forward?
Just getting a lot of people behind it, getting everybody on the same page. That's the biggest thing. Get everybody to have one goal, because I feel like some people have different goals, different things that they want to do. But when we can focus on is developing people that are there, developing guys that are there, getting them ready to get to playing basketball in America at the Division I level or wherever they can get to be, developing the national team, and also developing the professional leagues that are there for guys who aren't able to leave the country but will still have an opportunity to play in Jamaica. So I think one of the biggest things is just getting everybody to buy into having that goal of we need to develop the sports as one, not as everybody feeling like they need their own slice of the pie. Yes, everybody wants that, but if we do that together, it's going to make a bigger impression than if everybody is trying to do their own thing.
Amen, man. I completely agree with you. That's one of my observations as well. Is that I think there's so many people that have great, good intentions
Mm-hmm.
and want it to be successful, but do they want to bring in other people that also share in that same interest, or do they want to carve out their own thing? So hopefully we're able to move that ball forward a little bit. Coach Lloyd says hi.
Coach Sean, wagwan.
Coaching. You got two girls. How old are your girls?
5 and 3.
Oh, okay. Do you think they're going to be hoopers?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the next couple of years, what they lead to. But they're definitely going to be about 6'5" for sure. And so we'll see if they want to get into basketball or volleyball, because my wife played volleyball.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Do you get back to Jamaica much?
Not as much as I want to. I finally got the opportunity to go there and be with family this past July for about the first time in about 5 years. I actually went back. The one time I went back, I was with the national team. I think it was when we went to Venezuela, right before we went to Venezuela. I had just gotten back from, I went on a mission trip to New Zealand, and so I got back and I had to get on a plane to go to Jamaica to training camp, and then we ended up leaving right after training camp and go to Venezuela. But I got to go back this summer. It was short. I was there for like 8 days, trying to see people, just trying to see family, trying to take my girls because they had never been down there to meet family. So I didn't get as much into the basketball world because we were all over the country, just trying to go see people. But I'm hoping to, if not get back down there next summer, sometime, and maybe over Christmas. Hopefully we can arrange something to happen.
And I know you look forward when you go down to that home cooking, that great food.
What's
number one on your list when you go down? Where do you have to go? What do you get? Is it mom? What is it?
Yeah, it's probably mom, and it's definitely curry goat. I am all about my curry goat. And then my mom, she makes the best like juice, all natural stuff, orange, guavas, just blends up fruits, and it's so good.
Yeah, that's great. Have you been watching, or did you watch the Jordan stuff?
No, I haven't been watching it. Like I don't have cable, and so I've been busy with work trying to figure out how to, as the government start opening up, or the state trying to figure out how to get some business back going, and how to navigate the safety of all of that.
So what are you doing with the census? You're out there just getting people to complete it and do it?
Oh, no, I'm not doing that part. I'm doing more so the behind the scenes work. We have a committee right now that I am the city staff liaison for the committee. So I get people from the Texas and the Arkansas side of just get into business and get into churches, and we get on social media as well. I do a lot of stuff on my Facebook. If you look on there, I see a lot of stuff about the census. Just trying to get more people to respond, because we know when they do that, where the government gives out about $600 billion every year, and because of the census, more people that fills it out in this area, the more money we can we can ask for to be able to build infrastructure, to build schools, to work on hospitals and different things like that.
Yeah, cool. So do you follow the Jamaica guys that are playing in the States and keep tabs on them and kind of root for them from Texarkana?
Yeah, I follow a couple of the guys. I follow Coffee at Illinois. He had a really good season. Also, my boy Mario Gill had a really good senior year. I was really proud of him. Got to see Richards at Kentucky play for a little bit. A couple other guys I'm not as familiar with, but I've watched a couple of their games. And then pro guys, of course, I've been watching a couple of the pro guys that I was on the national team with me, Jerome, Samardo, Siobhan Thompson, all these different guys, Akeem, Scott. There's so much of them. Lati Bader, Ricardo Alleman, a lot of different guys that I've played with or have interactions with, and just seeing the success of all these guys that came out of Jamaica and are able to play at some high levels.
Yeah, I can't remember. I mean, my time following Jamaica basketball goes back 20 years. Since I started doing jump ball 20 years ago. But I don't remember a time when there were so many guys playing, so many Jamaican guys playing at such a high level.
Yeah.
Whether it's the guys you talked about playing overseas at various places. I know for sure there's never been three guys, in the NBA, possibly drafted in the NBA drafted. So yeah, I mean, the future's bright for us, don't you think?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, it shows how much progress we've made. There's still a lot of room for growth, but it shows that we're doing something good in Jamaica. Everybody is there, and that's attributed to all the different coaches, all different people that are there trying to build up the basketball. And sometimes it might not feel like there's progress being made, but we can see that there is. And then we still need support. We still need investment from other people to continue to contribute to help basketball grow in Jamaica.
Here's another question. Who's your GOAT, LeBron or Mike?
I know I was going to get asked this question. I don't know. I'll go to my cliche answer. They're players in different eras, and so I'll just leave it at that. They're both good. I don't want to compare that. They're two different players in two different eras. I don't know if Mike would be successful playing in this era, or if LeBron would be successful playing in the era. Great guys who are great people as well. And Coach, you there?
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Before I let you go, you've played for some really good coaches. Going back to Coach Ludlow, Coach Drew. You got a little run with Coach Spoelstra in Miami, and I know there's others that I'm not even mentioning. What has been the thing that has the kind of the string that has tied them together in terms of having success, and what is it about having a good coach that can make things so different than I guess the opposite for you?
And I think I was fortunate enough to be on teams with coaches that care, not about just basketball, but about player development. There's a lot of coaches that just want players that can win. Not really interested about developing those players that are a little bit behind. but I was fortunate enough to be on teams that want to see development and really care about not only just the game, but players as human beings as well.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for doing this. I appreciate it, and
Thank
I
you for
can't
having
tell
me.
you, I'm so impressed by you in so many ways. I wish you great success with what you're doing. I hope you want to be a part of what we're doing.
Oh, most
And,
definitely, always,
yeah,
always.
and we can call on you from time to time,
Yes, sir. Most
and,
definitely.
and yeah, and check in and. You're a super impressive guy, and your accomplishments to this point should be admired by so many. So
Yeah.
I thank you for doing this.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, so let's stay in
I
touch.
just want to say,
Yeah,
a lot of this is because of what people in Jamaica are doing. A lot of different parts. People are taking an active role and they care about the guys that are there as players. And I know that everybody wants the best for the guys to come out and make something of themselves. And so, just shout out to all the people down there. There's so many names that I could name off, and the work that they're doing. Tell them, congratulations, you guys are doing a good job, and thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
yeah. Thanks, man. We're gonna do it. We've got a goal, Paris 2024,
Yeah.
and it's gonna take a lot of people to get it done.
Hmm.
But we're going to do it, and I can't wait to get there, and I hope you're there to experience it with us.
Yes, sir. I'm excited about it too. Thank
All right,
you.
buddy. All right, we'll talk to you later.
All right.
Thanks, man. All right, Vashil Fernandez. What a great guy! What a great story he has, and the opportunities that he was given, and then the things that he did with those opportunities. Are just amazing. To come to the United States on his own, end up at a great school like Valparaiso and with a great basketball program and the success that they had getting to multiple NCAA tournaments, being runners up in the NIT, winning their league, playing for a great coach, then continuing to go on and play professionally while also getting 3 college degrees. It's just super impressive, and I can't say much more about it. And there's people like Coach Barker, who is on the live stream today, that were integral in making that happen for him. And these are the type of things that we hope to do and hope to continue to do, and find more success stories and create more success stories for basketball in Jamaica. So appreciate you hanging out on the live stream. If you're watching on the replay, can't thank you enough for doing it. What will really help us is if you can subscribe to the YouTube page, and if you can get other people to subscribe to the Jamaica Basketball Project YouTube page. As we gain more subscriptions, at that, once we get to a certain level of subscriptions and viewership, and there's a kind of a formula, we can start generating some money through YouTube. That's something that we can use everyone's help with. Crookshank, your question is too late. Yeah. We'll do it another time, and it's great to see your name on here, Lloyd and others. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time on the Jamaica Basketball Project. Make sure you tune in to Gary and Willie with the Jamrock interviews. Again, on YouTube, those guys are killing it, doing a great job. I love watching those and talking to the people that they're talking to. And until next time, we'll see you.